Hello and welcome to a little demo video of our first version of the NetIDE Developer Toolkit, an integrated development environment, in short IDE, for SDN apps. With the NetIDE Developer Toolkit, you can implement, deploy and test SDN apps all in one go without the hassle of manually setting up complex testing environments. I'll first show you a common workflow in SDN app development, and then I'll show you how it is supported by the NetIDE Developer Toolkit. In our example, we have a running company network with switches controlled by a POX controller. We want to keep it simple here, so our network only consists of 2 switches and 3 hosts, as depicted here. At some point or another, the network administrator wants to install a new app on the controller. Unfortunately for her, the app is not written in POX, but in RIO. Luckily, the NetIDE project provides an engine which enables running RIO apps on POX controllers. Before deploying the app in the running network, our network administrator needs to test it. Now, using the running network to perform our tests is a pretty dangerous idea. So she first sets up a virtual machine with Mininet and the POX controller mimicking the company network. Now she can deploy and test her RIO app without breaking anything. This pretty common workflow is supported by the NetIDE Developer Toolkit and can be executed with very little effort. And I'm going to show you now how this works. The NetIDE Developer Toolkit is a plugin you can install in the Eclipse IDE. See the links in the description below for detailed installation instructions. We assume here that we have a fresh installation of the toolkit. The first thing to do to get started is to open the NetIDE perspective. For that, we click on the button on the top right of the Eclipse window and select NetIDE. This opens all the views we might need for our task. Now we need a new project to model our virtual network and to store the apps. To do that, we click on File, New, NetIDE Project in the menu bar. Let's give it a name. Now we see a new project in the Model Explorer on the left-hand side. Now we add our RIO app. We take a very simple, hence simple to test app here. It's called Simple Switch and implements a Mac Learning switch. You'll find a link to the app in the description below. Now I'm just going to copy and paste the app into our project folder. As you can see, this is a pretty short Python script implementing Mac Learning behavior. Next, we need to model our network. We expand the topology model in the Model Explorer until we find the diagram in the tree. A double-click opens the diagram editor. Here we see the diagram canvas and the palette. The first thing we have to do is to create a network and a controller. We do that by clicking on the palette elements and placing the elements on the canvas. Notice that the elements are named automatically, but you can change the names as well. Also, the controller has a standard IP and port, but you can edit in the Properties view below. Next, we add switches and hosts to the network. As we remember, we have to model 2 switches and 3 hosts. And now we connect the switches and hosts. Notice that when connecting elements, the editor automatically adds a port to them. Finally, we connect the switches to the controller and then we save our model. For our final step, we need to specify that the controller in the network model runs the simple switch app on top of a box controller. To do that, we create a run configuration by navigating to Run, Run Configuration in the menu bar, and double-click on NetIDE Controller Deployment. That way, we get a new deployment configuration. Let's give it an appropriate name. Now, we select our topology model by clicking on Choose Model, Browse Workspace, and search for our model. And now we can see a list of controllers from our network model, in our case only the controller C1. To tell the controller that it has to run a Rio app on a POX controller, we have to select the network engine and tell the controller to use POX as a server controller platform, and as a client controller platform we use Rio. Now we can select our app. After these steps, we can build and run a VM with all the software we need to run our test case completely automatic. When you do this for the first time, it will take some time, since the VM needs to be set up first. In the second run, it'll be much faster. We're going to fast forward now until the VM is completely set up and ready to go. Once the VM is set up, we can interact with the network simulator Mininet through the Eclipse console. We also see a Gen folder in the project. It contains a Mininet configuration generated from the network model. Let's see if our app actually works. For that, I'll show you the output of Mininet, the POX server controller, and the Rio app. I'll just have to rearrange the views a bit. I'll open 2 more console views and choose the respective output from them. Now the app works if all hosts are reachable from one another. We can test this with the command ping all. And here we can see that it actually works. All hosts can be reached and the rate of dropped packages is 0%. And that concludes our little demo video. If you want to try the NetIDE Developer Toolkit yourself, you'll find some useful links in the description below. Have a good day and stay tuned for more features which are coming soon.